Part 1, the Kinfolx of Eirdr. Eirdr was not the leader of the northern FULLSCREEN, as leadership was shared amongst the various interwoven bioregions of the north and south. But he was a representative, an elder of sorts, yet too young to be named as such. His lineage came from that of Eirdr, one of the clans that had settled in the skillfully managed vegetation communities sprawled across the woodlands, tundras, and fertile terrains of the Aurora regions of the north and south. The people of Eirdr thrived for aeons using Swidden cultivator technologies, which meant that they would use fire to burn their fields on intervals throughout the year. This resulted in a fertile biochar and the burning of weeds and pests. Soil nutrients were released, nitrogen replenished, phosphorus, potassium, magnesium, and manganese, ash in the soil, Bajvita. Skilled pyrotechnicians, the fire farmers, would ritualize the burning of the fields. Bajvita became synonymous with the fires, the dances, the songs, and the long shadows, the silhouettes cast along the land. In the old days, this was so. Bi-monthly fires held the rhythm of life like a pyrosophic clockwork, burning as the index of life renewing. For the folks of Eirdr, time didn't stack itself in piles of history. Instead, time simply was and grew and lingered, and streamed on like petals of tall green trees on meandering rivers. For the folks in the Midway land, the free flow of time and life had ended in the grip of glass spirals, the glass spirals from the family of Kiln. For long now, the speaking with branches, trees, and canopies was prohibited, and the world of the written took over, authorizing, demanding, like the disembodied arms of Lubei's line. Words made man follow, disconnected logic. Eirdr knew that the trees themselves were mournful, saddened by the lack of listening, the lack of communion amongst all beings. The trees, their sentiments omitted from official documentation, their voices, the voices of the leaves, were unheard in the council. What had befallen of Eirdr, the world as they knew it? Part 2, the Great Hall Moment. While you were trying to conquer Bajvita in the name of progress, we were working with her, yelled Eirdr, and the atrium dropped silent. Even Lubea, who had worked for decades installing the Imperium Company across the world, had no more utterings. She sat with a ringleaf frown, gazing at the skylights. The signs of time clear as ever, life had altogether degraded rapidly. It was spoken, you see, once before on a gathering of the same likeness as this one, that the folk of Ain would rise again. Lubea knew that many kins across the planet had lived without ever facing the dooming onset of mass death as her people now were. But where her logic and that of her lineage had failed, she did not know. Then what do you propose, Eirdr? Lubei asked. The silence in the great hall, unroofed and scalloped by surpassing clouds from the high peaks around the ancient capital. What I proposed, Eirdr began, cannot be disclosed within these walls. It cannot be spoken of, for it cannot be captured, conveyed, nor approximated with the vile tool of words that your kin has woven itself with ever more deeply. Nay, Vulcan of all directions, what I propose lies scattered in the remnants of the deep soil below the reserves in the north and south. Bajvita, Bajvita, some hollered from their faction seats. She will rise again. It is spoken so. Eirdr looked around the atrium, and he returned his gaze at Loubert, still supreme entrepreneur of the Western domain, and continued. For years, you have been ignoring the voices of the unbodied, the green of leaf, the bark, the lichen. You silenced the murmurs of Bajita, forgetting that she was once the sole voice of all Furkel, long before the technology of your scripture nor your glass. But the muting of the branches is over. The trees and canopies will speak again. The leaves will whisper in the ears of lovers, and so it will be. Eirdr then stood up from the faction guilds of the northern lands, and as he walked the central channel out of the great hall, the room filled with anticipation. The rise of Bajita. Was it finally here? All right, people. Welcome to the story of DEEPSOIL and the songs of STONEORGY. We are ready for our first song. You just heard the first 2 chapters of the DEEPSOIL story, which I will gladly continue in a little bit. But first, let's do some rock and roll.
We connect to places of power. We connect to places of the earth. We connect to places of power. We connect to places of the earth. Ideeën. We connect to places of power. We connect to places of the earth. We connect to places of power. We connect to places of the earth. We connect to places of power. We connect to places of the earth. We connect to places of power. We connect to places of the earth.
Okay, we're there. We're there. Get ready. Get ready, we're there.
We connect to places of the earth. We connect to places of power. We connect to places of the earth.
Earth is our biggest teacher.
Where is this place?
It's a place before dirt was dirty, 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 dirty. Before dirt was dirty. When we still spoke to the landscape. Wind, pulse, blood, bone, clay, loam, dirt, silt, turf.
Language?
Yeah, like soil. It was everywhere. It was everywhere. It was everywhere. I like soil. It was everywhere. soil god. Yeah, now we bring to the soil god. When we bring with my hands up. Yeah, we bring to the soil god. When we bring with my hands up.
Right now,
The soil god. Yeah, when we bring
here's
with my
the only
hands up.
time we
Yeah, we bring to the soil god. Yeah, right here, right now.
Here's the only time we got. Yeah, right here, right now.
Yeah, when we bring with my hands up. Let's pray to the soil god. Let's pray to the soil god. Yeah.
So that was her song Dirty, otherwise known as Dirt. Yes. Part 3, the line of Kiln. The Lady Lourdes Lube's lineage trickled down from the high-esteemed family of Kiln, a family of glassmakers. It was them who secreted methodology to turn sand into transparent metals, thick and solid as brick, but tranquil as a still pond. Glass. Who knew it would change art as it did? Arisen on the lands between the north and south were now glass spirals, towering and sprawling greenhouses that dotted the land. They were hot, moist, and out of balance. You see, the glass spirals of the line of Kiln had all the technical requirements to grow food, abundant produce, rich breeds of plant and food. And for a long while, they did. Sprawling the trade of the land, enriching the line of Kiln, the foremothers and forefathers and kinfolks of Lube. The land and soil and produce that for aeons was communally shared was now, for the first time, taken into the ideology of ownership. As a trade for the supreme technology of the Kiln glass, the family had gained possession of all the lands, entropin farms and watersheds, one after the other, in the scourge for fast crop growth. The glass of Kiln are superior, the people in the great hall would chant relentlessly. The line of Kiln relished in the engorged abundance. And it was true in the beginning that the glass spirals produced more and more. Yet soon enough, a skin, a taste, skin-thin and shallow, like the earth beneath the great hall, extracted and overproduced. The line of Kiln, you see, was like a line, a thread of industrious agriculture spun around the world like a red-hot line at dawn on the horizon of a new time. Timed time. From cycles of fire and cycles of rain, the mingled periods of seepage, the deep soil building and the ecstasy. You see, the Kinfolx had lived with the cycles of the land. Cyclical significance had marked their pace for aeons, yet now they lived by the call of the hot glass, which was essentially ongoing. And so, the relationship with the land changed. And so, the relationship amongst the people changed. By the time of the line of Kiln, the world had become like a ticking of a clock. A superstructure had enveloped the land. Time itself changed, the elders of the Kinfolx would say. For little time was there to linger, little time was there to play. No more room for the in-between, the spaces beyond this and that. Like a hard glass panel, time had become a solid, straight, flat, perfect. And this efficiency forsook the wholeness, spiraling the greenhouses, heat and moist. The fire rites of the northern Kinfolx, they had nearly ceased. There were no more dark dances in the woodlands. There was no more praising of the Bajita. The glass that covered the land covered the hearts of the Kinfolx of Kiln. And so the roots of trees and fungi became dry and brittle. And then the phosphor stopped. Roots could no longer pump it upwards. The nutrients from deep below, from the depth of Bajita, the fecund forest floor, did not reach the plants no more. Covered by glass, the deep soil was no longer nourished, not by rain, not by fire. So the fertile undercroft had dried and died. Part 4. Mining the source. At the time of this story, the imperial company was in deep trouble. The yields of the Midway lands had dwindled. The people were on the brinks of desolation. Yet the glass spirals shimmered brightly in the setting sunshine, and the big hall of stone stood firm in the mountain slopes. Not many could believe the frailness of the empire, the world bereft of its roots. Yet the Midway land was void of fire. The lack of Bajita was apparent. So the company of Kiln set out on one big, mischievous plan. They wanted to move north, past the standing stones. What they wanted was the deep soil. To mine the very source itself, to take from her and then dump on her the brittleness from within their spirals. This was the great irony that startled Kinfolx of North, the people of Eirdr, imperials looking for deep soils, while their own origin of power came from cutting deep at the roots of this source in their own land. The greatest of ironies. For what is there to find when upon finding it, we take it apart? Don't they know that source gives? Said Brimbar, child of Eirdr. How can they take that what gives? They said, as the branch of the nearby tree squeaked. Eirdr looked sternly at the river flowing by. He had known that the time of the great irony would come. It would come to message the rising of the Bajita, the sacred fires that purify, the great revival and rekindling of the source that overflows, that which gives unasked for. The very matrix below our feet, our bodies, our weight. So you have to imagine in this Eirdr planet where the story takes place, you know, the people of Kinfolx, they used to live everywhere, cultivating their deep soil. But due to this, development of the line of kin, they moved northwards and southwards to the poles. And at this point, these lands are kind of safeguarded by sacred rocks, sacred standing stones in the landscape. Very much like the dolmen or the Stonehenges that we know in Europe. And these stones in art, they were covered with depictions of genitalia, body parts, plants, lichen. They were kind of power stones for them. In any case, before we continue with the story, let's all create one of those stones together. to kind of channel that energy from your body and imagine a kind of stone right in front of you. Yes? And we're going to do that during the next song, which is called Standing Stone. All connected. Stream on. It's your flow.
Create a star, the sacred stone.
Bring it all back to
Bring it all back to the earth.
Bring it all back to the earth.
Sing below,
Sing below.
sing below.
Give it back.
Give it back, give it back.
Give it back.
We give it back. We give it back. We give it back. Yes, we give it back. Thank you, everybody, for the sacred stone. Where were we? Where were we? Oh yes, the story of DEEPSOIL. Part 5. The hero. Why do you have to go south? Asked Brimbar. Can't we all go? They spoke. No one goes alone. Who would sing with you? Who would rub you? Brimbar asked. Eirdr looked at the child, one of 9 in the ring of his land shed. Together with 5 other man-women, he had raised Brimbar. Nestled in the warmth of their polyform love clan, all 9 kids had grown up wise and joyful. You know why, Brimbar, he said. The story is known to you like the plot of blueberries in the back of the garden. But I will gladly tell you again. It was foretold in the 7th ring of mothers who listened to the wind that from the line of Eirdr would stand a man with the burden to go alone. He paused and looked grim. The heart of Eirdr had been broken many times in the attempt to awaken the memory of Bashvita, the deep green, to those with ears closed and spirit silent. Why the fate lay on him to reach the heart of Lube's line, he did not know. But it was said that he should go alone, for any clan or group to pass south past the standing stones would cause a war. So he had gone already many times past the standing stones below to speak at the great hall of Kiln. Brimbar looked at Eirdr. They knew their father was burdened with the task of beholding the glass spirals. To see the land once green, now chopped up and brittle, with death crippling on the doorsteps of the great hall. Eirdr then suddenly remembered what the oak tree in the ring of mothers had disclosed. Eirdr, son of the line of Eirdr, child of many and beloved of more, in the south you will traverse. And while your heart grows dim as the sound of the river is lost amongst the spirals, you and you alone will be asked to seek forgiveness for the line of Kiln. You must seek out love for Lubea and those who can't hear the Ar breathing in the hall and in their minds. It is you who will bring them joy and who will bring them to their bodies. It is you who will bring them to blissfulness, that is the forgiveness of joy. For only in the face of the pain and the drought of the brittle earth beneath your toes, only then your forgiveness can turn the tides of time. Only that will spin a thread of hope in the tapestry of our existence, the roots of the roots, the very deep soil of Bashita. Do you understand? The oak tree in the center of the ring of mothers spoke. Brimbar looked up at his father. Their eyes shimmered broad and wide with the telling of this secret, for this part of the story had never been revealed. Now Brimbar understood why Eirdr had to go. For one way was the downfall, the loss of source for the sake of the temporal, and the other way was the reinvigoration of the rights, the union of water, earth, and leaf. But this great turning, the thread that could reach the root of roots, required a right beyond any that was seen by the many eyes of birds and insects. Even the breathing of the bark and trees had forgotten of such a thing. But Eirdr knew that only through the mingling of the fluids, the fertile deep soil, Bajita, would rise again. So at this point in the story, I found myself a bit confused as a storyteller, and I still do. I mean, it was never really my intention to make a story with such a strong polarity between two groups of people and one man essentially being burdened or enabled by the story to save the world. And I wondered, why do we write stories like that? Why do we share stories like that? Why would there always be a struggle of some evil system that needs to be overthrown? And you see, in the legacy of my bloodline, a Kinfolx storyteller, it is believed that all stories essentially update or upload information to an invisible field that influences the potentiality of all things, a certain morphogenetic field. You see, everything on Eirdr is connected, either physically, by bacteria, by hormones, by smells, by perfume, by electricity, by communication, by air, by nutrients. Whatever we put into this field updates or downgrades the members as it is shaped. So I am wary as a storyteller how everything I share creates what is believed to be real. And I wonder why story braiders and entertainment crafters often are so inclined to develop narratives that are not about peaceful coexistence. Do we even have stories of successful and regenerative relationships between man and nature? Do you know one? Because, stories that we produce, that we share, they eventually kind of influence what we collectively believe to be possible. It shapes our creative genius, it curves our fate. For whatever we put our attention to, exceedingly expands. And that is what we become experts at, engorged dramas filling up our storylines. But where is the narrative of what happens after we overthrow what we're up against? Where is the narrative that we are heading towards? I wonder. Can a story be interesting, taking place in a world of peace, with no intense violence or sharp, heart-sticking, bashing objects taking the stage? No focus on the hero, or any such things, but rather on the domestic and natural world that enables any such hero to do any such deeds in the first place. Yes, we relate to struggle, and yes, we struggle, but can we relate to bliss? For stories, they write themselves like ink into our imagination and into our bloodlines and into our earth. Stories form a kind of consensus, an amalgamation of approximate recordings from flawed bio-machines. And some even argue that nature itself has a take in the story as well, arguing that the more than human world has a say in the story also. Of course it has. Just think about it. Thinking and talking about problems is so easy, but writing as creation, speaking as creation, how would such a story go? How does it not get boring? I wonder, how meaningful is your bliss? The matrix of the everyday, where there is time enough to gather plenty of wild oats and sow them too and sing. I wonder, how to make peaceful coexistence compelling, how to write stories and characters that are sexual, spiritual, political, ecological, and compassionate, and living in a world where everyone spends time unraveling the delicate, subtle intimacies within and around them. For if our stories are building the world, what world are we building? In any case, let me take you back to the story of DEEPSOIL. Because of course I created an ending that's less about the hero and more about what I actually really like. Great sexual rights at the dawn of a new time. Part 6, the birth of people. As we have gathered by now, the life of the Eirdr consists of intricate and complex interactions and relationships between farmers, circles of mothers, crops, and land. But the DEEPSOIL fire rites are the things that really define them. The communion with the chlorophyll, the communion with the earth and sky, the fires, their sacred rites. For deep in the hearts of the Eirdr, there is admiration for how the DEEPSOIL mothers and seeds towards beauty, leaves in endless shapes of green and browns, purple and even silver fractal. In their hearts, the Eirdr feel a deep veneration for the falling leaves, the sediments of decay and timber rotting on the forest floor. They knew life and death were married like the fungi and the beetles, turning all in turn to DEEPSOIL in the deepest, and to rise again through all forms that dwelled on Eirdr. This cosmology of the Eirdr was symbiotic, nay, chlorophyllic, animalic, splendor. In their stories, the bodies, the blood, the bones, the liquids, the fleshy tissues, they were all born from the DEEPSOIL, earth and clay and mud. While their skin, hands, nails, hair, lips, and eyes, they were formed from the green of trees, like leaves on the body. And it was only in their erotic zone, within their love-making, where the inside and the outside, the above and below, the clay and the earth and the green and leaves would meet, where the green and the earth became the same, the hardness and innerness of flesh and blood, the smoothness of skin, smell, hair, and fragrance, the moisture, the saliva, the genital fluids. For the Eirdr this represented the rain of the skies, the white clouds that rush over the woods and drip over the branch and stem towards the earthen layers, as hands running over the passion of the DEEPSOIL, the source, the Bajita. It was in lovemaking that the Eirdr would feel the heat of their bodies and the power of their pyrogenesis, the fire, the sacred fires. And it was said, so in the land, so in the body, so in the body, so in the land. As in the rebirth of plant and time, in the bliss of sex, fire, magic fire fertility, renewing the richness of the forest. It was time, the angles of the sun and the canopies, a beauty to behold. Fire, water, earth, and leaf, celebrated in the rituals. Plays of liquids, bodies mingling, saliva, spit, and glory. This was the fountain, the moistening of bodies and soil beneath the heatening of the meadow, the drops of cum and pussy fluid on the blades of grass. The Eirdr as such were the fountain of the land. Their heat would then finally end in the collective burning of the fields, the grand finale of their orgiastic rite. Eirdr naked and euphoric, post-orgasm and in deep bliss, watching flames as they caressed, celebrating the renewal. Naked silhouettes dancing in the licks of flames amongst the crackling of a branch. And while the evening rain would then help sink the bliss of Bajita towards the deepest of the deep, this sacred soil below, the pyres of now smoldering fires would reach high and odorous, fur-scented offerings to the white clouds above. And that, my friends, is the end of the story of DEEPSOIL. But before we go, we have a song for you all. And this song is called Solar System. Let me tell you something about power. Life is power, power is life. Let me tell you something about power. Life is power, power is life. Let me tell you something about power. Life is power, power is life. Let me tell you something about power. Life is power, power is life.
It's the force, it's straight from source. Let me tell you something. We have come here
To let you know
to let you know
that change
that change
is coming,
whether
you like it or not. Nature won't be excavated. All of us are liberated. Nature won't be excavated. All of us are liberated. Nature won't be excavated. All of us are liberated. Nature won't be excavated. All of us are liberated.
This is a solar system. We gotta fit in. This is a solar system. We gotta fit in. This is a solar system. We gotta fit in. This is a solar system. We gotta fit in. This is a solar system. We gotta fit in. This is a solar system. We gotta fit in. This is a solar system. We gotta fit in. This is a solar system. We gotta fit
In the West, power is seen as something you have and hold. There's someone with power and someone without it. Somebody's gotta be on top. But power isn't something to be possessed, nothing you can hold. For power is an energetic force, alive in both animate and inanimate objects. Like lives, power is everywhere. Like love, power is everything.
This is our solar system.
This is a solar system. We gotta fit in. This is a solar system. We gotta fit in. This is a solar system. We gotta fit in. This is a solar system. We gotta fit in.
The solar system. We've got to fit in. The solar system. We've got to fit in.
The real power belongs to the people. And yes, we do need hope. Of course we do. But the one thing we need more than hope is action.